Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe my channel. The email from her accountant arrived with a soft, professional ping, a sound that belied the seismic shift it contained. Ilara's finger hovered over the trackpad for a moment before she clicked it open. The spreadsheet was a stark landscape of black and white, a ledger of triumph that now felt like a verdict. The final numbers for her latest collection, Verdant, were even better than projected. A success by any measure. And there, highlighted in a cool, impersonal yellow, was the line item, the disbursement. A sum, substantial enough to make her breath catch, was to be transferred to an account bearing the name of the man who was once her husband. The studio around her, her sanctuary, was filled with the evidence of her labor. Swatches of fabric draped over chairs, mood boards pinned with images of moss-covered stones and sun-dappled forests, the half-finished sketch of a new chair design on her tablet. This space, this success, was built in the years after their divorce, with her own vision, her own relentless drive, and yet a piece of it, a legally mandated, financially significant piece, still belonged to him. It wasn't about the money, not in the way people would think. It was about the narrative. The public story was one of a triumphant female entrepreneur, a phoenix rising from the ashes of a collapsed partnership. They saw the magazine covers, the sold-out collections, the vibrant woman who had rebuilt her life. They didn't see the fine print of the old settlement, the contractual ghost that lingered in every transaction. This payment was a phantom limb of her former marriage, a connection she could not sever, a tether to a version of herself she had worked tirelessly to outgrow. The success of Verdant was born from late nights in this studio, from a rekindled connection to the natural world that had always been her inspiration, from a fierce, personal determination to prove, to herself most of all, that she could soar on her own merits. And yet, the fruits of that labor were legally obligated to be shared with the architect of her former life, the man who had once told her that her designs were a nice hobby, but that they should focus on more stable investments. The irony was a bitter pill. She thought of the things that sum represented. It could have been the down payment on the small, secluded cabin in the mountains she'd been eyeing, a private retreat for her and their daughter. It could have been reinvested into the company, funding a risky, passionate project line she'd been dreaming of. Instead, it was a mandatory tithe to a history she had already paid for in tears and heartache. Her business partner, Mark, had tried to frame it logically. "It's just a number, Ilara, a cost of doing business. We knew it was coming. The brand is stronger than ever. This doesn't touch you." But it did touch her. It reached back through time and touched the woman she used to be, the one who had signed that agreement when she was vulnerable, when her future felt uncertain. It was a reminder that her independence, however hard-won, was not entirely absolute. She authorized the transfer, her click a sharp final sound in the quiet studio. The transaction would be seamless, digital, invisible. The public would never know, but she knew. As she looked out the window at the city skyline, a landscape she had conquered, she felt the complex weight of her own success. It was a freedom, yes, but a freedom with strings attached, strings woven from the unbreakable threads of a shared past. Her present was entirely her own creation, but a portion of its price would forever belong to the ghost of what came before.